resource allocation to meet our educational goals?
Yeah, so the first thing is the focus of resources to benefit students, and students come first. And with that, that's providing the tools for teachers and what they need. It could look different in different areas, but is it what they need in the classroom? Is it focused on expanding the East Campus to provide more classrooms, create environments that kids can thrive in? But every decision should be based off what's best for kids. And if you look through that lens and it doesn't fit, then it's probably something that doesn't need to be in there. I also believe that this school thrived on basic foundational scientifically or science-based methods to instruct children. And sometimes we bring in some things that don't actually benefit them, but it's just, if we're talking about technology, there's this latest, greatest computer program that's supposed to help with this. But the most important thing for student learning is, the best thing for student learning is quality instruction. So investing in our teachers, and then taking those steps down from there. I've always thought if we can do more to simplify so they just focus on instruction, providing, removing barriers for principals to be instructional leaders in the school instead of tied down with some other tasks that they might not need to be focused on, since they are the leaders in the instructional aspect and getting in the classrooms, then we can develop from there. And it's been shown that when you invest, principals are in the classroom and teachers are improving their instruction, behavior drops, and then that gives you more time. So it's that cause and effect there. But it's also being responsible with the finances. And so there's some things that we might want, but they might not fit. And then we're gonna have to get creative and look in other areas. And if we can't find those areas, then we just need to sometimes, work through it and find solutions.
Good evening, Mr. Machado. My question for you is, what strategies would you implement to ensure that your team strives to meet student academic achievement and growth in addition to student well-being?
Right, so academic growth, I would boil it down to as much quality instruction in the classroom. And so that goes into making sure that we provide professional development for teachers so that they understand best practices and the way that we work here at Monument Academy, and I know it's been at the secondary, and I know talking with Kurt as well, is when teachers are hired, they are hired based on their love for children. And we have a lot of teachers coming from a second career, or they don't have that teaching license. But some of our best teachers are here on the second career because they love children and they're willing to put in that work. So we need to support. I had a mentor say, I'll hire someone that will teach or loves children, and I'll teach them how to teach later. And when you have those, we're going to put in that effort to grow in that realm. Now, we also have to provide them not only the professional development, but the time, which we already have that in place with the Friday afternoons. And so developing those conversations in professional learning communities where teachers are able to talk about the data, they get to talk about instructional practices, what's working best for you in your class, what's working here. We're teaching, the same thing, but your kids have grasped that concept quicker. And so creating that collaboration and the instruction there. Also giving them time to develop those personal connections, those positive connections, those relationships. And we have Capturing Kids' Hearts in place right now. And just talking to teachers and having them, once they put in the effort to build those relationships, they've come and talked to me about, wow, things have changed. Like, kids were not engaging in the lesson. They weren't willing to take the information that I was providing. And once I took time to get to know them, build those relationships, it's a different kid in the classroom. I think, having a solid curriculum in place is very important as well, but also being simplifying it and really mastering your curriculum and how you're going to approach your instruction, and making sure that they have the tools in place to take the time to invest in that instruction as well. So, and then also, getting principals in the classroom and giving that opportunity for the coaching and seeing it in real life, providing opportunities for lead teachers or expert teachers to go in and make those connections. Because, it's just natural that teachers, if they're evaluators in there, they're going to not be as open. It's just human nature. So when they have a colleague that's in there giving them feedback, giving what they see, there's more open dialogue, and then having those master teachers invest in our younger teachers is super important as well. And we have a lot of great teachers, so it's not hard to do that.
Hello, Mr. Vinchattel. How would you engage with the local community to build support and trust in this school, including potential donors?
Yeah, so, I think with Monument Academy, it's very easy right now because we have a community that wants to invest. It's not like we're searching hard to have the community be involved in the school, which is an uphill battle. That part's already taken care of. So now it's the step of engaging with the community, communicating. We were talking about it this morning, just listening to what they have and then also understanding what their expertise is. We have a lot of skilled community members that can invest in our students and want to invest in our students. So, changing that mindset, that culture of, elementary, it's very easy. At the secondary, just learning what opportunities can we do and provide for the community to come in. I think it's also building those relationships with the district and understanding what they can offer, what we can offer for them, and if there's partnerships in different areas, creating that. But also just getting out in the community, understanding how do they want to invest, letting them know that we'd like for them to invest, and letting them know who we are and what we stand for, and then seeing where those opportunities lie and where we can make those connections. But yeah, we got to step up because we have such a great community that's willing to take that step.
All right, my turn. We're going to step out of the professional community here. I'm going to ask you, what would someone who is close to you outside of your professional life say are your 3 strongest qualities and 3 things they would say you have room to grow in?
Yeah, so I would say that who I am in my personal life and who I am in my professional life mirror each other. So you're not going to get a different person in that realm. I am who I am. And so I would say my strength is my passion especially for this school, but just my passion in what I do and focusing on what's best for kids. So, if it's this or being on the board at a preschool, or right now I'm coaching my 8-year-old son in soccer because there was a need there. So I'd say passion is one of those that I'm invested in. I would say loyalty is one of those where once I build those strong connections and develop what is what a common vision and get to know each other, those kind of things. I'm a very loyal person, and I still stay in touch with people. When I worked at Banning Lewis, I still communicate with the current superintendent at Creed, my principal Liz Richard. When she was here, she's, I reach out to her, my principal at Banning Lewis, to the two I had. I still have those connections, and we stay in touch, and I'll do anything I can to help them, and that's returned because they know that I'm there for them. I think the other strength would be hard work, and with that, I'm going to put in the work to get it accomplished and taken care of. So if it's showing up, here at 5:30 in the morning to make sure that some tasks are completed, I'm going to do that. Or if I'm staying here, I know Ms. Duke and I, when I first started, we were putting in 90-hour weeks to make sure that the kids had their classes put in place and were ready to go because we were short staff members. So I'm willing to take on any of that work, and I'm going to give my fullest abilities. So if that's from doing building manager custodial stuff to standing out in the cold to covering classrooms, teaching in the classrooms, then I'll be there. Now, I think that kind of melts into one of my weaknesses is saying no. So I'm willing to help out, and I'm not going to say no because I want to make sure that everyone around me is taken care of, which then leads to those long days and those areas to make sure that everyone else is taken care of. Other weaknesses, I would say it's one that I've been really focused on is the area and, doing my Capturing Kids' Heart profile, just getting that. Sometimes your strengths can lead into your weaknesses, and or they can then be a constraint for you. It's not a weakness, but a constraint. And I learned that at my last school, but my relational aspect, it then led into a constraint for me because I was so focused on making that deference, that making sure that we could all get along and making maybe some of those sacrifices. And I've been working really hard on that and understanding that sometimes you gotta, stand up and make those tough decisions, have those tough conversations. And it's been hard, but it's been beneficial, and I've seen the positive out of that. So that's definitely one area that because I just enjoy people, and so it's from that way. And then I would say probably the other one is just messing around with Miss Dugan. But no, yeah, just I would say sometimes I get so focused on the task at hand, and I'm so wanting to complete that and then ready to move on to the next, that sometimes the celebration is overlooked. And I'm learning to try and take that step back and make sure that celebrate our wins instead of just being so focused on moving on to the next task and pushing forward. So, yeah.
Hi. Okay. What is your educational philosophy, and how would you work to implement it?
Yeah, my educational philosophy is, obviously, I've said it several times, but doing what's best for kids, being a champion for kids. And with that, coming from the world of physical education and electives and being an athletic director and those kind of things, providing opportunities for kids to find what they love, what they maybe don't love, but they at least tried it. And giving them the opportunities to experience a love of learning, and giving them that chance to, maybe fail, and this is a safe place to fail, and then to overcome, but giving those kids the experiences that this is, and the opportunities, sometimes they might be negative, sometimes they might be positive, but let's experience it here now before we get out into the real world where maybe we don't have that safety net, where we have, great parents that can help us guide through us, great teachers that can help guide through these learning experiences. And so I think that would be my philosophy, is let's take risks, but let's take safe risks to learn in any realm, so that when our kids get out into the real world, they are not falling apart because they have had it so easy. And we've, and giving that opportunity to involve everyone, because it's, like I said, it's one of those things with, we're having my kid here, I trust the teachers to invest in my kids and teach them those things. And so I think that's the big thing, is sending them out into the world prepared, ready to flourish, really taking that opportunity to learn as a whole, just not academic, but how to resolve in conflict, how to try new things and fail, or try new things and learn to love it, try new things and hate it, but at least I tried it. So yeah, that'd be my thoughts there. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Vinchatto. Give me 1 second. We had designed this, obviously, for 3 candidates.
Yeah,
so
yeah, yes.
moving through
For
this
sure.
very quickly. There's another question that I'll go ahead and ask. What do you see as MA's biggest challenge?
MA's biggest challenge, currently, right now, I think it would be just making sure that we are fiscally sound, and making sure that we have those steps to invest in the things that we want to do down the road, and grow from there. And really aligning what we're doing so that we can do those things. It was, one of the great things that we do at the elementary school is that we push kids in math. I had this discussion with a parent this morning about this. We, push kids in math because we're a school of excellence. And if your kid has the ability to do that, why are we holding them back? But now we're dealing with that in the high school level, right? Where our kids now have such high level of math, we have to create all these courses for them, and then understanding how do we invest in do we need invest in math, but we've also heard the concern is electives, and knowing, okay, so what is best for kids, and how can we fiscally take this now so that we can invest down in the road and provide those, and so not looking for those short-term fixes, but maybe it's tough for a little bit, but that those lean times can then also lead to bountiful times down the road. So, currently, I would say the fiscal aspect is the one area that we need to make sure that we take a really diligent look and investment in. But then with that also planning down the road and being strategic in how we are moving in that direction and aligning it from preschool all the way up.
Thank you, sir. Board, are there any follow-up questions that you would like to ask? All right, hearing none, thank you, Mr.
Yep.
Vinchatto. I would ask that if you would like to give us some closing remarks. You don't have to, but you're welcome to.
Yeah, so as you can tell, public speaking is not my greatest strength, but I'm a man of action. You know, I love Teddy Roosevelt and you know, take action and you know, the words maybe not be there, but you can see from how I invest and what I'm willing to do, where I'm willing to go to make sure that we're successful. And, you know, with that, like I said, I'm a champion for kids. We need to focus on that fiscal responsibility, and then we also need to engage our family and our stakeholders and make sure that not only do we bring them in, but we also let them know of the celebrations and the great things that are happening, because there's a lot of great things happening. And we want to take those steps to celebrate our great teachers as well and our great students. We have so much going on here, and we need to make sure that we share it with the world. And with that, even though there's been some tough times, Monument Academy's persevered, and we're on a great trajectory. Great things are happening, and are there some things that we might need to focus on? Yeah, but the foundational blocks are there, and they've been there, and that's the great thing about Monument Academy is we know who we are and we know what we do, and there's no need to change in that direction. It's just let's invest and strengthen in those areas that we're great at, and so you know, I just want to say that this school is just so great because of its community. And it's my home, and I'm excited to lead in whatever role that you guys see fit. And if it's an executive director role, I'm super excited for that. But if it's in the middle school principal role, I'm just as equally excited because wonderful people around me and staff members that just enjoy coming to work every day and engaging with. So I look forward to partnering with you guys in whatever role that looks like.
Thank you, Mr. Vinchattel. So at this time, what we're going to do, the board is going to actually adjourn into a second executive session, but the board will dismiss itself after we do that, and then that will open up the community meet and greet. I would encourage each of you to take some time, if you haven't interacted with Colin, ask questions. Please provide your feedback. We want to hear from you. We're asking to hear from you. So at this time, I'm going to motion to adjourn to executive session pursuant to CRS 24-6-4024B&F to receive legal advice on specific legal matters related to an employment investigation and for personnel matters regarding school administrators.
Second.
Ms. Clinton has seconded that motion. Is there any discussion, board? I'm surprised to see everyone here, so thank you. We'll make this quick. So we have adjourned from executive session. We are back in open session at 8:08 p.m. At this time, we have no action coming out of executive session, but we'll give a brief summary moving forward in light of the high school principal resignation. Through June 30th, 2024, the remainder of this fiscal school year, Mr. Vinchattel will be the interim building principal overseeing both middle school and high school. Further communication from Mrs. McClellan will be forthcoming. Please know there will be no lapses, and this will be a smooth transition due to the excellent and diligent work of our amazing team from both campuses. That's all I have to report. So at this time, I'm going to go ahead and adjourn this meeting. Thank you for being here tonight.